With a population of 12 million people packed into 588 square miles of area, Brazil's Sao Paulo is the biggest city in the Western Hemisphere. However, the residents of the city face several massive challenges. Some of them include a much publicized water shortage, achieving mobility in the chaotic urban world, and the haunting fact that 19% of the population lives in abject poverty. These are all problems that shouldn't be taken lightly. So a master plan was developed to make the city more human-centric and a better place to live in. Will the master plan be able to solve the troubles that plague the residents, or will it remain as a mere plan on the paper? Stay tuned to find out. Sao Paulo's new strategic master plan was unveiled on July 31st of 2014. The new master plan is the result of discussions spanning over a few years. There were several entities who took part in formulating the grand plan, including the government, public participants, and several private organizations. This plan was formulated in a democratic fashion, and opinions from everyone were considered while developing the plan. A very large participatory planning process was conducted, probably one of the largest in the world. 114 public hearings were held, which were attended by more than 25,000 people. So many residents also contributed to the ideation process. I mean, haven't you heard that a bunch of heads are better than one? I mean, it's not the expression, but it means the same thing. So, it is obvious that several people working together have made the proposed plan iconic. Sao Paulo has a large population that lives around a decentralized megalopolis. With a large population packed into a small area, you can always expect problems to spring up. The main goal of the new master plan is to humanize and to rebalance the city. Equality had to be woven into the lives of the people while having a much more sustainable and environmentally friendly approach. Economic and social development should be done without hampering the natural heritage. Preserving the heritage and enhancing cultural initiatives are the main focus of this plan. And at the same time, it's ensured that the public has a say in the decisions about the future of their city. Today, life without cars is just unimaginable. Traveling by car to even nearby places is second nature to us. We hop into our cars just to go to the store a block away. Sometimes we just have the store bring the stuff to us. But what we don't realize is that our actions severely harm the environment. The emissions from these metal beasts cause air pollution, and they also drink up huge quantities of gas, which is a non-renewable resource, I'm sure I don't need to tell you. So, to reduce our impact on Earth, Sao Paulo has opted to curb the car culture. Making streets more pedestrian-friendly was one of the main goals propagated. The new master plan hopes that the city will have a people-oriented development with transportation that's not monetized. So, to discourage the use of cars and reduce the impact on Earth, public spaces are to be increased. This means that the government has to invest in better sidewalks and create new bike lanes. Dedicated bus lanes should also be implemented. Hopefully, reducing the number of parking spaces can also help to reduce car uses. It's also proposed that these measures, when coupled with tax benefits to encourage the donation of land for transport corridor construction, will keep many residents from using cars. And to make all these plans a reality, the Urban Development Fund of Sao Paulo is going to allocate 30% of its resources for a great and improved public transportation network and bike lanes. It'd also be, super great if more houses and offices are located closer to transportation hubs so that people don't have to use personal vehicles. So it's planned that the areas that surround transport routes and corridors are to be modified to meet these needs. Utilizing these spaces will lead to the optimum use of space available, and will also completely transform the urban scene. New, tranquil, and livable communities can be built in these regions. The ease of access to mobility will definitely improve the quality of life. To ensure more development along transport corridors, new zonal rules are to be made. This could also increase the development by nearly 4 times. It'll also encourage new urban amenities and services to help amalgamate buildings and street space. Developing a strong community is also given importance. So, the new master plan is going to ensure high quality of urban life on a community scale. Mixed-use buildings will be encouraged so that, as the number of jobs near houses increases, the need for motorized travel will go down. But it's important that the core of the city be preserved. The last thing that we want is for such a diverse city with such a great heritage to be transformed into a soulless concrete jungle. So special care is going to be taken so that the skyscrapers aren't built everywhere and that limits are going to be added to building heights and the number of floors. The socioeconomic disparities between people from different walks of life are also worrying. Several people live without the means to have 3 square meals a day and 0 roof over their heads. This is not good if the city is planning on improving the lives of people. So the first step in tackling poverty is to make sure that all the residents have access to affordable housing. The city has 96 districts that are unequal socioeconomically as well as in terms of access to public services. Previously, Sao Paulo Mayor Fernando Haddad and his administration had promised to take care of the problem of homelessness very seriously. In his campaign, he promised to deliver 55,000 affordable housing units. But we know how politicians can be. They make empty promises just for the sake of winning elections. His government was able to build just a fraction of the promised amount with less than 5,000 houses. So, as a result, the city is facing a massive crisis. Merely having houses constructed won't be a solution. These houses have to be affordable to those even just earning minimum wage. Affordability is a challenge in almost all global cities like Los Angeles and New York, but it's a major concern in Sao Paulo, where the wealthiest travel is private jets and helicopters, where the poor live illegally in abandoned buildings. Nearly 500,000 people still live on the streets, or just in bad living conditions. However, things were a lot worse just a few years ago. In 2000, there were 2 million people that were homeless. It's a pretty embarrassing figure for such a city that focused on improving people's lives. Today, 19% of the population faces a housing crisis, but the master plan has now found a solution for this. It aims to build 717,000 new housing units by 2030. The city officials will also make sure that the majority of them are affordable and located primarily in areas well connected by public transportation. This could hopefully solve the housing crisis. Compiling the various ideas, the final plan, termed as the 2040 Vision, was released. And let's just say, whew boy, it's ambitious. The plan was introduced with the slogan, "The City We Want." This plan gave the general public an overview of what exactly was wrong with the city in the way that it was structured. The hard work of several researchers helped to narrow down all of the challenges into 5 axes. The vast distance between workplaces and residences pushed the need for better planned-out infrastructure that bridged the gap between various hotspots. Sociospatial discrimination also has to be rectified. Poor quality of water, the clash of municipal administration and metropolitan dynamics, and increasing costs of living comfortably were all problems that were placed upon the axes. I got it. Got it. These axes were social cohesion, urban development, environmental improvement, urban mobility, and job opportunity. To eliminate these problems, 6 projects were proposed to better the living conditions in Sao Paulo and improve the quality of life. The first project is Living Rivers. This involves reimagining what these water bodies are supposed to be like and reclaiming all rivers in the city by converting them into parks. This will enhance the standards of life and also improve tourism. The concept of city parks that was also put forward. This means that there will be parks within a maximum of 15 minutes from residences. Parks will increase the aesthetic beauty of the city and, honestly, just the general quality of life. The whole city is going to be built in such a way that all amenities that you could possibly need are at an arm's length. It also means that the journey from home to work is not going to exceed 30 minutes on average. Several hobby and cultural areas will be incorporated into this 30-minute area. How about that? The shady and unsafe regions within the city will also not be left out. Communities will be formed in those areas, and they will ensure that they're integrated with the rest of the city. Businesses are going to be decentralized, and they too are going to be located close to homes. In short, the city of Sao Paulo is going to be an open city. It's going to be a center of innovation, tourism, and different cultural festivals. So what do you think of Sao Paulo's new master plan? Do you think it can improve urban mobility and implement housing policies? Are the proposed projects helpful in improving urban life in neighborhoods and tackling socioeconomic inequalities? Let us know in the comment section down below.